Are you trying to import all your Active Directory accounts into GLPI for centralized management? In this video, I'll show you how to import Active Directory accounts into GLPI quickly, accurately, and automatically. In this example, we will synchronize all accounts inside the department OU into GLPI using the LDAPS protocol, ensuring a secure and reliable connection. Next, let's take a quick look at our system diagram so you can clearly understand how everything is connected. As you can see here, this is my Active Directory server, including the IP address, domain name, and the OU we'll be synchronizing. And next to it is the GLPI server, where we'll configure LDAP and perform the account import. And here, I already have a fully working GLPI server ready to go. In this tutorial, we will synchronize all users inside the department OU into GLPI via LDAPS. Additionally, you'll need an SSH connection to your GLPI server to perform some verification and configuration steps. You can use any SSH tool you prefer, such as PuTTY, Termius, MobaXterm, or even Windows Terminal. And in addition to that, we'll also need WinSCP, which allows us to easily transfer files from Windows to Linux when required. WinSCP gives you a clear, user-friendly interface so you can navigate server directories and drag and drop files without using commands. Let's get started. First, open your SSH connection to the GLPI server. Here, we need to declare the FQDN of the Active Directory server on your GLPI machine. This step is required because LDAPS only works when connecting via the domain name and does not support using an IP address. After you've added the information, go ahead and save and exit. Next, from the GLPI server, try pinging the FQDN of your Active Directory server. The goal is to ensure that GLPI can resolve and reach the domain controller via its domain name. If the ping responds successfully, the basic connection is working. Next, to allow GLPI to connect to Active Directory via LDAPS, we need to create a certificate authority on the Active Directory server. In the Server Manager window on the Active Directory server, click Add Roles and Features. This opens the Add Roles and Features wizard in Windows Server, where we will add the certificate authority role needed to set up LDAPS. In the Add Roles and Features wizard, at the Select Server Roles step, check Active Directory Certificate Services and then click Next. At the Role Services step, make sure the Certification Authority option is checked. After clicking Install, wait for the installation to complete. This may take a few minutes depending on your server's configuration. Once finished, we will proceed to configure the certification authority to issue the LDAPS certificate for GLPI. At the Role Configuration step, select Certification Authority, and then click Next. Next, at the CA Type step, select Enterprise CA and then click Next. Next, at the CA Type step, select Root CA and then click Next. This will generate a new private key for the Root CA, used to sign and issue LDAPS certificates. At this step, enter a name for your CA. Alternatively, you can keep the default name suggested by the system. The default is usually 5 years, but you can adjust it according to your system requirements. Finally, after reviewing all the settings, click Configure to complete the Root CA setup. After successfully configuring the Root CA, the next step is to export the certificate from the root CA for installation on the GLPI server. On the certification authority, right-click on the CA name and select Properties. Next, in the CA Properties window, click View Certificate. In the Details tab of the Certificate window, click Copy to File. In the Certificate Export Wizard, select Base64 encoded X509 and click Next. Then choose a location to save the file on the Active Directory server and give it a recognizable name. Click Finish to complete the export. After completing the export process, you will have a certificate file like this. After you have the certificate file, now open WinSCP tool. We will copy the newly created certificate to the desktop on the GLPI server by drag and drop. So now we have the certificate on the GLPI server. Alright, we finished the Active Directory part. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button to support my channel. Now let's return to the SSH window on the GLPI server. Then, navigate to the desktop folder, where we have saved the certificate file from the previous step. Next, run the command to copy and rename the certificate into the system directory. Note that when copying the certificate to the system directory, we need to change the extension from DOS CER to DOS CRT. This is necessary for the Linux system to correctly recognize the certificate and for GLPI to trust the LDAPS connection. After placing the certificate in the directory, next update the system certificates. Next, let's check if GLPI can connect to the domain controller via LDAPS. If the LDAPS connection is successful, you will see output like this. At this point, GLPI is ready to securely and reliably synchronize Active Directory accounts. Okay, everything is ready. Now let's return to the GLPI web interface. In the left menu, click Setup, then select Authentication. Next, within the External Authentication section, click on LDAP Directory. Click Add to create a new LDAP directory in GLPI. In the name field, enter a memorable name for this LDAP directory. Next, for the default server and active options, select Yes. Default server makes this LDAP the default server for GLPI authentication. Active enables the LDAP, so GLPI can connect and synchronize accounts from Active Directory. Next, in the server field, enter the FQDN of the Active Directory server. In the port field, enter 636 because LDAPS uses port 636 for secure connections to Active Directory. Here, I want to add a note about the firewall on the Active Directory server. Currently, I have turned off the firewall on the Active Directory server for demo purposes. But if your firewall is enabled, you need to open port 636 to allow GLPI to connect via LDAPS and securely synchronize accounts from the Active Directory. Okay, next, in the connection filter field, you can enter one of the following two lines depending on how you want to filter users. This line will exclude disabled accounts, importing only active users. This line will import all users in the department OU, including disabled accounts. Next, in the BaseDN field, enter the following sample value. And remember to replace it with your actual OU and your domain name. This tells GLPI exactly where your department OU is located inside Active Directory, so it knows where to synchronize users from. Next, in the Use Bind field, select Yes. Next, in the rootDN field, enter a domain account that has permission to read information from Active Directory. We will create a new account inside the user's container. This account will be used to fill in the rootDN field in GLPI, allowing GLPI to connect and read information from Active Directory. Here, enable the password never expires option to preventing GLPI from losing access or failing synchronization due to password expiration. Okay, after creating the account, enter its full distinguished name into the rootDN field, and then enter the corresponding password into the password field. Next, in the login field section, enter SAM account name. This tells GLPI to use the standard Active Directory login name during synchronization, ensuring that each user is correctly identified and can log in properly. And in the synchronization field, enter Object Guide. This allows GLPI to uniquely identify each user in Active Directory, ensuring that even if a user changes their login name or moves to another OU GLP, I will still track the correct account without creating duplicates. Finally, click Add to save all the LDAP settings we've configured. Here, click Test to verify the connection. If everything is configured correctly, GLPI will successfully connect to Active Directory via LDAPS and will be ready to synchronize users. Okay, everything is ready. Now we're going to synchronize the accounts from Active Directory into GLPI. If you don't see the LDAP option here, just close your browser and reopen the GLPI page. The LDAP directory link option has now appeared, so go ahead and click on it. Next, select Import New Users. Next, click Search to start querying the accounts in Active Directory. After the search, you'll see the list of accounts displayed here. At this point, simply select all the users and proceed with the synchronization. Now, refresh the Users tab, and you'll see the domain accounts showing up in GLPI's user list. This means the import from Active Directory has been completed successfully, and everything is working as expected. Finally, we'll test the setup by signing in with the domain account to make sure everything is functioning properly. At this step, simply use your domain account to sign in. And for the login source, remember to set it to LDAP directory before signing in. Great, we've logged in successfully, which means everything is now fully set up. Thank you for watching, and I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you found it useful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more guides. See you in the next one.